From New York City, it's the Wendy Williams Show. Today, Wendy's fired up and sounding off on all of the latest, juiciest hot topics. And theft and abuse charges are filed against Bobby Christina's boyfriend. Brian Balthazar has the inside scoop on the shocking new accusations. Plus, she's a smart and funny hot talk all-star. Now, Allie Wentworth hits the couch to dish on her hilarious new book. Now, here's Wendy.
Wonderful. Thank you for watching today. Sunny, 80 degrees in New York. They feel good. My co-host, my studio audience. I feel great. Let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics. Thank you all. Thank you. So now look, I hate to talk about people that I like, but thank you. But Donald Trump, you're fired. Be very clear. When I say I like Donald Trump, if you watched our show through the seasons, Donald is he comes here a lot. And, you know, I really enjoy conversation with him. I think he's smart. He's done a good job raising his kids. He's done a good job coming out of his bankruptcies, which a lot of you throw stones at that and say, well, if a man is bankrupt, has done bankruptcy, how can he run the country? It's not where you fall. It's how high you get up. Yeah. And, you know, and he has risen to the occasion. Plus, you know, I'm a big woman, I love a big man, and he gives good hugs, and he's, you know, the whole bit. But I would never think of him as actually winning the presidency. As a matter of fact, I think it's probably time for him to bow out now. Yeah. I'm just calling it the way I see it. I feel like, Donald, in a weird way, you're now looking like the crazy old man. And I don't like that for him. Like, I just wish he'd build golf courses and, you know, increase the New York City skyline and beyond. But NBC has cut ties with Donald, saying because of his racist comments about Mexicans. Well, as far as I'm concerned, my thought is that NBC has done the right thing. They have cut ties with him before his infection spreads to the other network shows, like The Voice, like America's Got Talent. You know, they have other shows and bigger business. And, you know, NBC owns Bravo. And, you know, so before the infection spreads, just cut the ties. In my head, and I don't know this for fact, but in my head, I do believe that NBC probably had a big powwow with him, asking him, begging him, please apologize so we can keep Apprentice on the air. Please, you know, it's a good show for them, and, you know, like that. But in my head, Donald probably said, oh, heck no, and hung up the phone on them. So therefore, they were forced to just say, okay, you've pushed us to this, we're cutting ties. Now, as far as Celebrity Apprentice goes, I don't care to watch anymore. And I'm going to tell you why. And I just said this just last week, I believe I said this, right, Suzanne? Yeah. I said that the only reason why I watch is for Donald.
Him. Yes, for Donald.
Are you curling your hair?
I did it today. we gave away the beach curler thing, right, and I used it this morning.
Wow, it looks good. It looks good. But, you know, I'm a big fan of Celebrity Apprentice. I'm a big fan of Apprentice when they don't have celebrities. Who I'm a fan of is Donald Trump and that boardroom behavior. I won't watch with no Donald Trump, and I don't care what celebrities that you have on there. I don't don't know, clap co-hosts if you feel the same way. Because even though he says horrible things sometimes, like, you know, Mexican people are racist and drug dealers, you have to admit that his Celebrity Apprentice style is extremely entertaining. And there is nobody who could take his place. But then I was sitting, you know, in my room, putting on my costume before coming out here, and I was saying, well, what about Howard Stern? Howard is already with NBC. He's no longer going to be on America's Got Talent. He's not renewing. And then I said, well, maybe not Howard, because Howard, while interesting to watch, Howard is not known for business acumen. He's known for, I mean, I know he has businesses. I know, you know, I'm sure he's very smart with his money. But, you know, Apprentice is about somebody who has an empire to show, like the Trump way. And so maybe not Howard. And then I said, well, maybe Bethany. And then I said, well, she had the talk show. She wasn't so likable. But she's already with the NBC people because she's on The Housewives over at Bravo, which owns NBC. Problem is, I'm not too sure about the Bethany thing. She might be too polarizing. Yes. Do you know what I mean? Yes. And then I was reading someplace that they wanted to replace Donald with a minority. So I was like, okay, is this to make up for the Mexican comment? And I was trying to think, well, who would the minority be? Magic Johnson? Nice guy, but nice doesn't cut it in the boardroom. The reason that we love Donald Trump is because he has jerkish ways, and jerkish ways we love, okay? Then I said, Puffy. All I know is don't get any harebrained ideas, NBC, and replace him with the Trump kids. Because while they're great kids, great doesn't cut it in the boardroom. You know, you can't be great and good. You have to be sharp and devious and jerkish. That's all. That's all. Right? So, speaking of Puffy, we have an update on his legal drama. Remember, he was arrested after he attacked his son Justin's football coach. You know, Justin plays at UCLA, allegedly. Anyway, according to TMZ, the coach, by the way, wasn't Justin cut from the team as of now?
No. Report says.
Allegedly, he's cut from the team. Well, according to TMZ, the coach bullied Justin because he's the son of a celebrity. I can believe that. I'm on the coach's side with this. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you know that you're a Puffy and you know that your son is entitled, there's a certain way maybe that you should have talked to him prior to leaving for the campus of UCLA in terms of, look, son, you know they're going to give you the extra hard business because you're the son of an entitled celebrity. It turns out that the coach made some comments, or not this coach, but the coaching squad made some comments about, you know, allegedly they took Justin partially because he's the son of a celebrity, and that puts booties in the seats for the games. But please, you can imagine that that would be the way it is. Like, kids of celebrities, sometimes they get things not because they 100% earned it. They might have 80% earned it, and then the other 20% is, you know, the parents or whatever. But Puffy should have known better and not been a helicopter dad. Like, stay out of it. Like, don't show up at every single practice. Even if you want to support your kids, just pull your Maybach up and pick him up at the curb after practice is over. And be super nice to the coaches and try to hear both sides of the stories. Like, when your son says, you know, the coach is a jerk, always know kids lie. Okay? So listen to the coach's side also. And anyway, so, but, I mean, like, this kid, Justin, allegedly bragged and said, you know, because he missed some of the workouts and practices and stuff, he was like, well, I work out with my dad's trainer. Well, first of all, who talks like that? Maybe the kid, the self-entitled kid of a celebrity, you know, who hasn't been taught. You don't say things like that. You know, you go to all the practices and you work out with the team, and you, because you're the son of a celebrity and because you are worth, you know, $1 billion, you've got to prove yourself extra hard to be a nice person and a decent human being. So then the coach allegedly posted a picture of Justin at the All-Star game in the front row with Ben Stiller, and there were some other celebs there. Look, the expensive watch, the chain swinging, and there's Justin sitting with his dad, missing his own practice and team at UCLA to be at the All-Star game courtside. Now, see, I'm down with the coach with this. The coach allegedly put the picture up in the workout room and left it up there for like 12 days. And told the team members who were there sweating and working out, saying, look, you're here, and look where he is. In other words, the coach shamed Justin, but you know what? Justin deserved that. I mean, you know, I think Kendall Jenner has done a terrific job of separating herself from the family. Like, we still, you know? And, you know, allegedly what she told her family, her mom, you know, her sisters, stay away from my fashion shows, okay? You got the taste. It's, you know, in the beginning when I entered modeling, but now I'm seeing that I'm being bullied backstage. Girls are flicking cigarette ashes in my drink backstage. Yeah, they were very, very mean, allegedly, to Kendall when she first got started 5 seconds ago. But then Kendall put the kibosh on the family, and now I think has done a great job of being her own person. So, anyway. How long do you have to be broken up with a person before you move on to the next person? Because if you move on too fast, it looks like you were probably cheating all along. Like, you can't move on too fast. Well, Sean Penn has moved on too fast. He was with Charlize Theron for 8 months. Remember, he was so enamored with her that they wanted to marry. They talk about marriage in articles. He wanted to adopt her adopted son, Louis, and Jackson. Look, they're sharing slobber with the snow cone. It was an 8-month relationship that moved along really fast, but they recently broke up like last week. But according to TMZ, he was spotted, and we have the receipts, at a romantic fancy dinner with the actress Minka Kelly. On her birthday! Well, there she is, blowing out her candle, and they went to this first of all, I'm wondering, was he cheating with her all along? Yes. Clap if you think. I mean, you don't know what else to say because, you know, even if they were just on a date, say they just met each other for the first time last week, the day after he and Charlize officially broke up, maybe they could go out for dinner, but birthday? Like, that's special. And I'm not mad that he's moved on so fast, only because life is short. And when you're grown, then you realize that, you know, life is ticking. My thing that I'm mad about Sean with is that he moved on too fast publicly. Like, if you're going to move on right after you break up with someone, you're supposed to, like, leave your back door unlocked and tell her, when you come over, pull the car in the driveway, or in the garage. So, you know what I'm saying? The housekeeper's off. There's nobody here. It's just me and you. And you're supposed to order, like, from those delivery places that go to all the restaurants and, you know, like, you're supposed to order in. Not just be out. So I'm mad at him for taking her out, you know, like that. And by the way, they just weren't out. They were in the Napa Valley. a place I've never been, but we have a lot of transferred. No, we have a lot of people here from California who moved here to work on the show, and they tell me Napa Valley is like one of the most romantic places ever because of the wine and, you know, the specialness and the scenery and stuff. They went to this restaurant called French Laundry. Now look, I didn't know about it either, but I did my research. Apparently, Anthony Bourdain, you know that food guy, says this is the best restaurant in the world. And there's a 1-year waiting list. Sean, this is really looking suspect, you and her. So you've had this going on for... And the restaurant only seats 60 special people. Do you think he was cheating on Charlize? I don't like it. Anyway, so Britney Spears and Iggy Azalea are going at it. Well, Iggy started because she says that Britney is to blame for their song Pretty Girls not being a hit. Now, I've never heard this song, Pretty Girls. I had to ask DJ Boof to play it for me before the show. And I heard the song and I said, oh well, okay. Well, this is a jazzy little tune. Does Elvis play that? You know, on the Z100? I never heard the song. Have you ever, clap if you've heard the song. Okay. But it's not a hit. Oh. Well, so Iggy was saying, you know, Britney, you were supposed to be going out with me and we were supposed to be performing this song and you were supposed to be promoting it and whatnot. And in my mind, I'm like, well, Britney does not have time for that. Britney is busy nursing a broken heart, #1, raising 2 boys, and doing her tour in Vegas. So what part of this does Iggy not understand? So then Britney goes on her Twitter and says, can't wait to get back to Vegas. So thankful to have shows for the rest of the year to look forward to. Hashtag, you want a piece of me? I've always known that Britney, I've never thought that she was a weak girl. Sorry. I wasn't shocked that Britney was able to fire back because I think we all have it in us to defend ourselves, no matter how nice and church-like we act. We all have it in us to give it to you. And I believe that that shade was called for because Iggy has canceled so many things, we virtually canceled her from our memories. You know what I mean? Like, Iggy is not consistent. That's a lot of blonde going on, isn't it? It's a lot. Anyway, good for you, Britney. Iggy, sit down. Let's move on. Kanye can't escape Kim's sex tape past. Now, I will say that, you know, Kim has done so much in her career that sometimes I forget that she got started from being underneath Ray J. Well, sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. I mean, she has done a lot, but, you know, when I'm reminded, I'm like, yeah, of course he can't escape that. People will always remind him of that. He was performing over the weekend in Ireland. And, how you doing, Ireland? They watch us there. Anyway, over the weekend in Ireland, and someone waved this huge flag, which, by the way, we checked the price in case you want to do this, between $500 and $1,000. And let me tell you what's on the huge flag, okay? We had to blur it out. But that's Kim's face. Hold on, and just follow my finger. And this is Ray J. I mean, you know, and as the husband, yeah, I would be like, damn, why did I marry a, you know, Like, what, you know, but he knew this, Kanye knew this going in. So did Ray J. It is what it is. So there's this really horrible story about Kate Hudson, her brother Oliver, and their biological dad, Bill Hudson. Sidebar, do you remember the Hudson Brothers Razzle Dazzle Comedy Hour? You remember? Clap if you do. Okay? Look, the song was this: razzle dazzle, set yourself down. Razzle dazzle, down to Tillion. Razzle dazzle, get up on your feet and razzle dazzle. I remember the song. That was the great thing about like the 70s, is that there were like the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour, there was Laugh-In, like all those family shows that you could watch together. For a moment there, remember the Smothers Brothers had a show? That was what, anyway. So their father is Bill Hudson of the Hudson Brothers. And on Father's Day, Oliver, who's like 38 years old, he stars on Nashville. So he's a fully formed man with his own money and his own thing going on. But on Father's Day, Oliver posted a picture that said, "Happy Abandonment Day." And Bill, the father, fired back. And this is what he, see, this is when social media goes wrong. I don't think that we need to know about this. I don't feel as though families need to be fighting deep-seated stuff like this in front of us. But I like it because it's good for our show. So, here's what he says. I say to them now, I set you free. I have 5 birth children, but I now consider myself a father of 3. I no longer recognize Oliver and Kate as my own. I would ask them to stop using the Hudson name. They are no longer a part of my life. I am mourning their loss, even though they are still walking the earth. This is disgusting. Now, there are 2 sides to every story, though. Because the word, and I would love for Hot Topics to continue digging, because I need answers as to why Oliver is speaking like this. It's not like he's 12 years old and a child. He's grown. And why wouldn't he just handle this in therapy or something? And why Bill Hudson, the father, if you have 3 children that you now still consider your own, you know, with a new life, then why are you acting like a child on social media? The word is that, you know, when Bill and Goldie Hawn split, Oliver and Kate were like little kids, like 3 and 5 years old, you know, something like that. And during that time, allegedly, Goldie poisoned the kids against their father. And we know relationships like this, you know, where mom or dad poisons one to the other. So I'm not blaming Bill and I'm not blaming Oliver, but I'm just saying take this off of social media unless you want to continually get scrutinized by Hot Topics, Life and Style, the National Enquirer, the Star Magazine, you know. Oh, well, keep clapping, that's it. But we've got more fantastic show for you. Our friend Alexandra Wentworth is here. I love when she stops by. She's got this funny new book, happens to be a New York Times bestseller. But up next, Brian Balthazar is back to break down the inside scoop on Bobby Christina and the shocking lawsuit against her partner, Nick Gordon. Keep it here. On an all-new Wendy, I'm holding court in Hot Topics. Oh. The statute of limitation for cheatation never wears out. Plus, we talk to Grammy winner Miguel, and he performs live.
Tomorrow on an all-new Wendy.
Time for the inside scoop here with some juicy celebrity stories from popgoestheweek.com. Say hello to our friend Brian Balthazar. Okay, Brian, let's get started with Bobby Christina.
Yeah, it's very serious. So as you may know, last week they moved Bobby Christina to hospice. And for those of you who don't know what hospice is, it essentially means you're not going to try and prolong their life. You just want them to be comfortable. And so it's a sad time right now for the Browns and the Houstons. And so, but interestingly, before they did that, Bobby Brown wanted to make sure it was absolutely certain there was nothing more they could do. So he actually had her privately medevac to Northwestern University in Chicago to make sure doctors concluded there really is no more they can do to save her, really. And so they brought her back to a hospice center outside Atlanta where the family is right now. And so that's kind of where they're at. This is now they just want her to be comfortable.
And both sides of the family are getting along?
The Houstons and the Browns are getting along very well. The one wild card in this is Nick Gordon. That's where things are really problematic. Because
the husband, boyfriend, brother, we're not sure.
Exactly. So the conservator of Bobby's estate has filed a lawsuit, a $10 million lawsuit, alleging three things: assault, fraud, and misappropriation of funds. Some pretty serious things.
Okay. He doesn't have $10 million. So the purpose of this lawsuit is just to get some answers.
They want to make sure there's a proper investigation. And there will be a police investigation, but this really investigates all sorts of things. So the fraud allegations. The complaint alleges that on January 31st, the night that this happened, allegedly, he dragged her up the stairs by her hair, Nick, allegedly, and then punched her in the face to the result that she lost a tooth. And so, you know, they want to know more about what allegedly happened that night. The fraud is he or is he not her husband? And the reason that that's important is a number of things, because they've been saying that he's her husband, and that brings in I should say, the money that eventually comes out of this, but also he's been saying that he's her husband, so basically where does the money go? And he's been taking money out. Apparently, after she was put into a medically induced coma, he took $11,000 out of her account. So that could be potentially misappropriation of funds.
Okay, so Whitney left her as sole heir to her fortune, $20 million.
$20 million.
Now, can you break down for us when Bobby Christina was supposed to get the money?
Yes,
portions?
Exactly. So that's dispersed in 3 installments. One when she turns 21. It's important to know she's 22 now. Okay. And then when she's 25, and then when she's 30. So the money that's already been dispersed to her, if she should pass away before she's 25, would go to Bobby Brown. The rest of that money, that $18 million, would go to Sissy Houston and Whitney's brothers.
So she has $2 million right now.
Correct. When she turns 25, she would get another 10, I believe. It's a sizable chunk of change then. Okay. But unfortunately, it's not expected that she would live to 25. When you go into this hospice center, it's not expected it would last more than 6 months. So right now, there's $2 million that could go to Bobby. The question is,
her father.
Correct, Bobby Brown, sorry. The question is, though, is Nick Gordon the husband?
Because if he is, then what happens?
He might be entitled to some of that money as well. And here's the other thing. We know that Nick Gordon has been in Florida and that they have not allowed Nick to visit Bobby Christina.
And if he's the spouse...
If he was the spouse, he could present a paper saying, I'm her husband. They can't stop him from going.
And now sue everybody because they have denied him.
Right. So it's a messy situation, but, you know, Nick Gordon went to rehab after appearing on Dr. Phil, but some reports claim that he has been drinking since he's been back out of that show and out of rehab in Florida. He was in Florida this past weekend.
All right, so we'll be following that story for you. Let's talk about Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton got the scare of a lifetime.
The scare of a lifetime, and we have video that you have to see. Okay, so Paris Hilton was in Dubai. She was promoting the opening of a hotel. She was on the red carpet. You can see her right there. Then a guy named Ramez Galal, who's a TV host and actor from Egypt. You can see there, he's kind of a comic actor there. Convinces her to go on an aerial tour of Dubai with some other guests.
So let's take a look at
I want to tell you something else that happens first, okay? What you need to know is there were cameras on the plane. We don't believe that Paris knew what was happening because suddenly there was a foul smell.
Don't say anything.
Okay, got it.
All right, talk about the foul smell.
Foul smell, and then an alarm sound. She's going, because you won't see that in the video. There's an alarm sound. She's like, is this normal? This is what followed. She does not know she's being videotaped.
Okay, watch this very closely. Go ahead.
Is this normal? It always does this?
can see the plane did a nosedive, did a spin. They actually convinced everyone that they're going to have to jump out of the plane. She's terrified, screaming for her life.
So it turns out this guy hosts a show like here in this country, the Punk.
It's a total joke.
It's a joke.
It was a joke.
By the way, she looks just like her Aunt Kim Richards right there.
Right. But, I mean, honestly, whether you're a fan of Paris Hilton or not, this is a terrifying thing to do to someone.
And worthy of a lawsuit.
Right. And there are reports, surprise, surprise, that she's going to sue, that this is emotional distress. When she landed...
What if her heart stopped?
Yeah, I know. She could have had it...
That's not funny.
No, it's not funny. When she got on the ground, and I have to say, she was quite classy about it on the ground. When they were basically, all they cared about is that it was a big stunt, better than Punked. And she said, you know, I fly every day, and it's my biggest fear to die in a plane crash. And this happened, you know, she basically was living that out right there, and she looks legitimately terrified.
She looked beautiful while she panicked, though, didn't she?
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian Balthazar. For more juicy stories like this, go to popgoestheweek.com. Up next, the always funny and always interesting Allie Wentworth is here. Stops by. She's a comedian and an author. She's got a new book. It's called Happily Allie After. It's a New York Times bestseller. Please welcome back to our show our friend Allie Wentworth. You look terrific.
Look at you. You look terrific.
No, but look. First, normally when I see you, you're in slacks.
And a hot mess, let's say.
No, not a hot mess, but...
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you in love?
I'm not. I'm always in love with my husband, George Stephanopoulos.
Yes.
But I have a 12-year-old daughter named Elliot who is my style guru. She dresses me because she's embarrassed. So when I take her to school in the morning, she always says, can I just... can I pick out an outfit? And I go, what's wrong with pajama bottoms? And roller skates. And so she dressed me on my whole book tour. Today, she picked this dress, and she goes, oh, wear it with the boots. Wear it with the boots.
Well, let's give you a shoe cam. Wait, put your feet on that feet, those feet. Uh-huh.
Yeah, which, by the way, I would have been in a nice gingham sundress and some flats
or
if
something.
It were up to me.
Right.
So, yeah, no, she does all my fashion, my daughter. Yeah.
Now, how old is your other one?
The other one is 10, and she wears the same outfit every day. So I don't go to her for that kind of stuff. Yeah, she's not a fashion person.
So, look, let's talk a little hot topics.
Yeah.
So what do you think about NBC getting rid of Donald Trump?
Well, you know, you got to be careful what you say.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're running for president, maybe not isolate a huge majority of your voters. That's just
right. Yes.
You know. Usually they wait until they're officed before they do that. But you don't start campaigning by basically alienating everybody that could vote for you.
Exactly. Well, and you know what he said? He said, well, they forgave Brian Williams. Why can't I be forgiven? And I'm just like, that's apples and oranges. It's two different
I don't
things.
understand that.
So, what were you obsessed with the murderers?
Wendy Williams.
Okay.
Okay, so we went to Greece recently on a family vacation.
Oh.
Yeah, the homeland.
Oh, yes.
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 Which, by the way, there's nothing hotter than being in Greece with my husband, because he's like the Bon Jovi of Greece.
Yes.
I'll go crazy. So anyway.
Does he still have family there, the Stephanopoulos?
Yeah, but they're like off in the hills. We don't see them.
Yes. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're so distant that
yes.
I mean, basically they're all relatives. Everybody
related.
in that whole country. I mean, once you marry a Greek, believe me, you marry the whole country. But, so we're in Greece, and we're obsessed with these escapees. That's all we can talk about.
Yeah.
And here's my thing about it, okay? Why do we know that one of them is well endowed? I mean, I knew it.
The George Lopez-looking one.
He apparently is well endowed.
Yes.
So my feeling is, when they were closing in, I was like, well, don't kill the well-endowed guy. Right? Shoot him in the leg.
Right.
I mean, because he's the one that seduced the lady.
Yes.
The Shawshank lady.
Carol.
So, I mean, I just love that. And then, do you remember there was this really good-looking guy that went viral, his mugshot, and he was like,
the black guy with the blue eyes.
It's like our society goes, oh, if they're hot or if they have a big penis, then save them. Yeah.
I wonder if the coroner lady pulled the covers back to take a selfie.
Oh, I bet she did. Yeah.
So you've been happily married to George for 13 years.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Now, I'm in heels in this picture. We're the same height.
Are you really? No, you're not.
Yeah, we're the same height.
You know what? Because I don't, like, I met him at parties and stuff before, but I like him more knowing that he's with, like, our kind of people.
Oh, that's very sweet.
No, because look, you're my kind of people.
Yeah.
Like, he's the straight newsman. And
Yeah.
the idea that somewhere in there he's got the cuckoo makes him even...
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, he just doesn't show the cuckoo.
No, I love it. He's able to restrain that.
Yeah. No, behind closed doors, by the way.
He's cuckoo?
Yeah, he's in a thong jumping up and down to Dream Girls.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to show him where the Middle East is on the map. So don't underestimate me either.
So
how does our marriage work?
Is what I was going to ask, yes.
I'll tell you, because he gets up at 2:30 in the morning to do GMA.
Okay.
I go to bed with him every night at 8:30 because my feeling is if I'm not there when he wakes up, I got to go to bed with my husband. Otherwise, we're just roommates.
I like
You know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So, do the girls go to bed at 8:30 as well?
Well, they're just starting to age out of this a little bit, and
Okay.
they've discovered the show The Fosters. So I always say you can watch 2 episodes of The Fosters and put yourself to bed. But if I catch you going beyond, 9:30, then you won't have a phone and you're going to boarding school in Switzerland. So
I like that, though. So you go to bed together at 8:30, but when he wakes up at 2:30, what are you doing? You still
Honey,
sleeping?
I'm snoring away.
Still sleeping.
I got my curlers and my face mask. I'm out. But he always has to kiss me goodbye. It's like a ritual. Like,
Yes.
I know. But here's the problem. In the middle of the night when you're asleep and he's trying to find my face to kiss me, it's not cute. I'm like, I love you too. Go.
So now look, congratulations on this book.
Thank you.
And it's a New York Times bestseller. What's it all about, Alfie?
All right. I know you can relate to this. And I know that most of the audience, because I know a lot of you are lying about your age. When you turn 50, you come undone. I did, anyway. I came undone. I have friends, when they turn 50, one of them climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, the other one had an affair. Everybody goes sort of crazy.
Right.
And I started to feel it a little bit. And I decided, all right, what's the back 9 of my life going to look like? How do I be a better wife, a better mother, a better writer, actor, everything.
Yes.
And I went on this Twitter inspirational quote thing. So every day I'd get an inspirational quote, and I tried to live by it, which failed miserably, by the way. I cannot love every stranger as I would a family member when he is constantly defecating in my bathroom and smelling up my whole apartment.
Got you.
So, some of them worked, some of them didn't, and then I tried things like Botox and spray tanning, and I'll tell you why I started Botox. I'm watching GMA in my flannel jammies with my Honey Nut Cheerios in whole milk. I know. I had my obese dachshund next to me, my usual ritual. I'm watching TV. And Lena Dunham comes on GMA, and she calls George a sexual icon. And I dropped my Cinnabon, and I said, holy crap, I'm married to a sexual icon.
And then you said, well, I gotta do something to myself.
Honey, I gotta step it up. I gotta get my roots done. I gotta exercise. So I went and got Botox.
Do you like it?
I'll tell you, I wasn't happy about it while it was being done to me.
Right.
I got it here, and it hurt a lot.
Yeah.
And then I walked home with a frozen ice pack on my head and thought about, oh, God, the things women do to be young.
What about the spray tan?
Honey, let me tell you about the spray tan.
Okay.
I'm a pasty girl to begin with, and I burn to the point where I boil.
Okay.
So I went to get a spray tan, and I found it was actually more intimate than any sexual situation I've ever had.
Yeah, you have to get everything done.
Because you're in this tiny little room, and you're totally naked, and you're like this, and some woman is spraying you like she's killing roaches. You just have this thing like that, and you're like...
Yes.
And... You know, I just kept thinking of that movie Taken with Liam Neeson. I was just like, someone save me. And then...
Well, it's all working for you.
It's gone now.
No, but I mean, it's all, this whole 50
Let
thing
me
is
tell you
working for
something
you.
about this spray tan thing. You don't have to do it. You have this lovely...
No, but I've done it before. I don't like the fumes up my nose.
But then she made me turn around and bend over, and I said, I wear a Speedo. No one's going to know if that's like that. No one sees that.
But it's all working. Welcome to 50. Congratulations on your book. Allie Wentworth, everybody. The book is called Happily Allie After. And she bought a copy for everyone in our studio audience. We'll be right back. It's Power and Play on an all-new Wendy with Amari Hardwick and Naturi Norton from Power. Plus, Ask Wendy.
I'm 40 plus. He's 29.
Okay.
Do you think it's safe for me to get my groove back?
Get it, girl.
Thursday on an all-new Wendy.
Time for Ask Wendy. How you doing?
Hi, Wendy. My name is Stacy. How you doing?
That was a good one, Stacy.
I've been broken up with my ex-boyfriend for about 2 years now, and he constantly comes into my job. He has a new girlfriend. I am completely over him, Wendy.
Okay.
He comes into my job. I work in an electronics store, and he's window shopping all the time. Should I approach him about it, or should I just keep it to myself and just, even though it upsets me, but should I keep it to myself?
Does he bring her?
Yes.
This is what you do.
And her weave is bad.
No. But we're not going to talk about that. Here's what we're going to do. You are going to politely go over to her, not him, and say, hello, my name is Stacy. You know, Steve and I have been broken up for 2 years, but it occurs to me that he continually comes in here to flaunt that he's in a new relationship. I'm over him. You're a beautiful girl. I'm glad you're happy. But I just want you to know that your boyfriend is acting weird by coming in here.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean, Stacy?
Yes, ma'am.
Kill her with kindness.
I was always taught that.
Okay, good. Very well, Stacy. Up next, everyone, race the clock. Don't go far. Make your feed a little more fabulous. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for hot topic updates, candid pictures, and of course, behind-the-scenes dish. Get in on the conversation today. Nikki's from Atlanta. She flew up here by herself, and she's having a great time. Well, you're going to have 30 seconds, Nikki, to play Race the Clock. And here's your question. Magic Mike XXL opens tomorrow in theaters. Name 3 actors who star in the movie. And go.
Okay, we have Channing Tatum.
Okay.
Sophia Vergara's man. Joe Manganiello.
Yes.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yes! You got your Google Nexus, your Google Nexus 9 tablet. Eye candy is next. Marissa Baker from Pennsylvania, eye candy. Love it. Tell us.
Hello. I got this blouse for $14. I got these for $10 and my shoes from Target for $30.
Live. Love it. We'll be right back. Tomorrow, Miguel will be here. I love you for watching today, and I'll see you next time on Wendy. Bye.